Everybody hates Shy. And here's why. Clemson is not making the college football playoffs this year. Hey, Clemson fans, it's me again, your favorite black guy, which isn't saying much since a lot of you seem to not like black guys so much from the comments you left in my last video. Anyway, don't feel like I'm picking on you, okay? This is the first video in a series of videos telling you what roadblocks could be in front of your team to make the college football playoff. And the best case, the best argument for why your team shouldn't make it, won't make it, and doesn't deserve to make it. Now, Clemson, what is the case for your team not making it in besides your fan base being awful human beings? Actually, you know what? Let's start there. Let's start right there. Clemson will not make it into the college football playoff this year because Clemson fans don't deserve nice things. I made a video, it's up over 1,000 views, I'll link to it below, saying how I felt Kelly Bryant deserved better from Clemson and how when it mattered most, he outplayed Trevor Lawrence. And, you know, I still let it be known Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. He's going to be great. But many of you were just nasty, hateful racists, which I guess I should have expected from, you know, basically what's a third world country in South Carolina. Anyway, karma matters. And you guys, I don't think you deserve to be national champions, especially the way some of you guys talked about Kelly Bryant when he left. You only have such a short time to be able to play college football. He wants to play college football. He doesn't have a lot of time left. Let that dude go play somewhere else and wish him the best. He gave some of his best years of his life to you guys in your football program. Get over it. So that would be my reason number 3 why Clemson's not making the playoff. What would number 2 be? Well, your schedule's weak. I mean, the Syracuse game. Oh my God. The Syracuse game. You won it, but in reality, it was an L. How scared were y'all? Because Kelly Bryant had just left, and it seemed like karma was already taking place. And it ain't like last year, because guess what? If Alabama is in a game against Vanderbilt and their quarterback goes down, no one cares who the backup is or if he's on scholarship. Alabama better win that game, and they're not even going to want them to win it close. They're going to want them to win that game convincingly. You guys didn't. You did pull it off. It was not convincing. But even then, I know what you're saying. Well, what about Notre Dame? They had a close game against Ball State. They were never down in that game. You guys trailed pretty much the whole game against Syracuse. And not only that, Notre Dame's resume is completely different now because they were playing Brandon Wimbush in that game. And now it's a totally different team in the eyes of the people who are going to be making that decision because they have looked different since they switched quarterbacks. You got NC State. That's a decent win, but I mean, it's NC State. Florida State, that's an okay win. You don't know what Florida State team is going to show up. Would be a better win if they had beaten Miami. Boston College, Duke, not impressive. South Carolina, not impressive. The ACC this year just isn't special. You're looking at playing Miami or Virginia Tech in the conference championship, and if it's Virginia Tech, Notre Dame has already played them, and they've beaten them, and they did it at Blacksburg, one of the toughest places to play in the entire country. Yours will be on a neutral site. And I'm not convinced that if you beat Miami, I'm not convinced that Miami won't be coming into that game with 2 losses because they're shaky. So you're going to need some help to get in because that's the kind of year the ACC is having. SEC champion is getting in. And it looks like if Ohio State wins out, they're definitely getting in. And last but not least, the biggest reason for me that Clemson won't make the playoffs this year is because I don't believe that anybody who looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo can make a team a championship contender. I just don't. But that's just me. Call it bias. I haven't seen it done yet. When one of your best players looks like one of the dudes from Hoobastank, your team's in trouble. If I'm sitting down at that table in that committee meeting and someone asks, what is the case against Clemson for getting into the playoffs this year? I'm saying that dude, their best player, looks like he's in Hoobastank. And it'll just be unanimous. Everyone will say, you know what, Shah, you're right. We can't have that. And that's the best case for Clemson not making it into this year's playoffs. The comments are open below for your racism. It's okay. I know you can't help it. And go ahead, and if you're going to be racist, go ahead and like and subscribe if you're new. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to go listen to some Hoobastank. I'm not a perfect person. What can I say? What a great name. Hoobastank. Hoobastank. Hoobastank.